Hey guys, in this video, we are going to share my friend Sarah's experience, a case study of the very first rehab project she's ever done. Sarah, how you doing today?
How are you?
Good, good. Thank you for taking the time to share this with everybody. A lot of people that follow us are real estate investors or aspiring real estate investors, and I think your story is amazing because of the trials and tribulations you went through, and especially if you watch to the end of this video, you hear the numbers and exactly what she profited on this, and it's going to blow you away. So, Sarah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sarah Stickman. I am a realtor based in Northwest Ohio. I primarily serve the Toledo location, but every now and again I like to flip a house.
Yeah, good,
Yeah,
good. Well, I'll tell you, I know that you're this is totally out of your comfort zone doing these
can
videos.
you tell?
And it's all right. I think it's cool. Just imagine the people that are gonna hear this that you're gonna help, and you're doing great. Okay, so thank you, West Toledo, born and raised, realtor, decided to flip a house. So I have to ask, what in the world made you want to go from working with awesome clients, buying and selling real estate, to jumping on the dirty side of things and rehabbing a house?
Good. I think I have been watching HGTV for probably about 10 years. Friday night, watching everybody else doing something that I've always wanted to do. And I didn't know how to get there until I got on the retail side of things, until I became a realtor. And then I had the opportunity and I went for it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
you were interested in seeing something on TV, and I know you like to use your hands. You like to do projects.
love it.
Yeah, good
Yeah.
stuff. So, what or how did you when you decided did it just pop up one day? I just want to flip a house, or did the opportunity come across your plate and you took it?
Yep, the opportunity came across my plate. So I started working with my client. She chased me down at the grocery store. She knew I was a realtor. That she had paid off her house, was, ready to move. And she needed a certain dollar amount for it. It was just dressed, it needed work. And she needed the funds to be able to buy her dream home. So I purchased her home and helped her get into her dream home.
You purchased the house that she lived in so that she could go buy another house.
Yeah.
Man, that's a win-win. That's pretty cool. You were able to do that. So did you, when you first went over to help her, did you say, I mean, why not list it? What made you say, okay, I'm not going to list it. I'm going to go ahead and buy this and take on this project? How did that whole thing happen?
I think I've been always jonesing for a project. And when I walked into that home, there was just something about it that I knew I wanted to save it. I knew the market well enough that my numbers, I was, I felt comfortable making the investment. And it was the biggest project I've seen to date. So I said, why not? And I bought it.
So that your gut told you to go with it. And here, we'll show everybody the front end of this house here. So here is the house that she's talking about. And where's this located?
Did it at 3856 Watson Avenue in West Toledo, Ohio.
All right. So this picture that we see right here, was this after the clean out had started? What's this picture that we're seeing here?
Yeah, that was, I think that was day one or day two after we started the initial clean out process. We ended up having two 20-foot dumpsters, four unlimited pickups at the street, and about 8 trips to the junkyard total just for the clean out alone.
Really?
Yeah.
8 trips to the junkyard. And who all, let's see here. Was this just you? Or did you partner up on this with somebody?
Me and my mom, we took on the project together. So that was a blast.
How did you fund it? Where'd
We
you get the money? Where'd you get the money to buy the house?
I've saved every penny that I made. I paid for the property in cash and I rehabbed the project in cash as well.
So you bought it with all your own money. You partnered up
Mhm.
on it with your mom
Yeah.
and you rehabbed it with all your own money as well.
Yeah.
So you went the route of saving up cash till you found a property that fit your needs. How did you know that you had enough money when you were doing the construction numbers and things like that? Well, hold on a
Great
second.
question.
There you go. There you go.
Mhm. To the house, I knew it needed everything.
Okay.
I knew that I was going down to the studs. So from being in real estate, from networking with other investors, I had a general idea of what these things would cost.
Okay.
The finished materials I've been saving up. If you walk in my house for the last 10 years, I've been collecting product along the way. So for me, it was, the mechanical, the foundation, electrical, and plumbing. Those were my major numbers. And I was doing all the labor for sweat equity. So I felt comfortable with my investment.
So that rolls into a little bit about the construction aspect of it. Let's go down that angle for a minute. Who did majority of the work?
I did.
I think that's awesome. And I think everybody should needs to hear that now. Were you ever a builder, construction worker, anything like that?
Absolutely not.
So
No.
what in the world led you to believe, I believe anybody can accomplish anything, but what led you to think that you could take on, well, let's back up. What all did you do?
Let's see, I did about 20% of the roof. I learned how to roof. I did all the drywalling, framing, tile work, sanding and refinishing hardwood floors. I put that house back together with my own two hands.
Really? The whole,
Yeah.
all of it from drywall. So you hired out the mechanicals, the electric,
The
and
electrical, the plumbing, I had a roofing company come over, that aspect. And I also hired replacing the HVAC as well.
I'm going to show everybody some pictures of the condition of this place before we get too far here, so everybody can see. So these pictures, you got some pictures of the walls here. Receptacles look like there were some challenges there with the tile. Tub looked like it was in pretty good shape, huh? Did you
You'll
replace
see it
that?
though. Yeah, no, I just cleaned it.
Did you? Nice.
Yeah.
So here's the bigger pictures. This house was in absolutely rough shape. And so everything came out, right? Drywall.
Yep.
I gotta ask, what's the story with the cat?
We unfortunately found some cats there. And they had babies. We found them in the wall.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was so we gave them baths. And my mom and I took multiple trips. We actually had to drive a couple of hours all the way up into Ann Arbor and Detroit to find a shelter to take them.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, never a dull day.
That's yeah, this is a lot more than just rehabbing a house, I can tell you that. Look at those ducks.
Yeah,
Is that a gutter?
that is the gutter.
There's fur in it.
Yeah,
So is this your work truck?
that is my work. That is my work truck.
You have
So, if you ever saw anyone driving around with materials hanging out of their car, it's probably me.
this is awesome. Hey, you got it done. So Windows, did you do Windows or were the Windows okay?
Windows were not okay, and I did hire that out.
Okay, got it. So you hired out the windows. Here's your tub before you cleaned it.
Yeah, 30% vinegar.
Look at that. It's nice how well stacked the dumpster is. You know, that's an art to stack a dumpster. You would not believe how many people have no idea how to stack a dumpster and they just waste a ton of space. Look at that.
Yeah.
Kitchen. So for those watching, this is called lath and plaster, not your traditional drywall stuff, more difficult. And this is amazing that she was able to hammer this out because lath and plaster is not the easiest stuff to work with. Look at this. Nice paint job. You look like you're just saying, I'm going to show this video on YouTube one day. That's what you were saying right here. One day I'm going to be on YouTube and somebody's going to see my video. There's a garden. There's a nice garden.
Yeah, we're pretty so a lot of the stuff that I've done, I was able to split off, perennial plants from neighbors, um, Habitat for Humanity. A lot of this stuff is a little bit more affordable than you would think.
Yeah. And that's the finishing touches that really brought it to life after you were done.
Yeah.
All right. So tell me about this. I know that you got creative on this arch. You were really proud of this.
Yeah, my baby.
Did you build that yourself?
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
Good for you.
Thank you.
There's another
Oh,
one. I'm gonna be on YouTube and flex some muscles here. So who's
that
this guy?
so that's my cat. That his name is Chum. Chum and I ended up having to move into our rehab project for the last probably 2 weeks to finish it up to meet our deadline.
So you guys actually moved into you and the cat here moved
Mhm.
in order to hit your deadline for your buyer.
Yep.
This turned out awesome.
Thank you.
This turned out really nice. So are these your plans?
Yeah, that was my plan for the arch.
Look at you. Wow, look at that. Is that the kitchen?
Yeah, so where you see the arches, they actually had a stove, a fridge, some upper cabinets in the bulkhead. So we ripped all that out. We moved the gas line 20 inches. I mean, I moved the gas line 20 inches. I added two lower cabinets. I built an arch and I centered the stove there.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
And you did all that yourself? What is this?
Yeah.
Oh, is this a roof?
Yeah, that's the garage.
Really?
Yeah.
Was that your roofing magic up there? Hold on a minute. I think it gets better here. Let's see. Oh, not yet.
I learned how to roll a flat roof.
I'm waiting. You're gonna show everybody here in a second. It's awesome. Look at it. So did you replace this with just regular drywall, or did you go back lath and plaster over top of that?
I did a cement board backer.
There you go. Okay. This your basement?
Yep.
There's your arch again. Lunch break?
Yep.
Was that that was I want to know who stood there and took the picture of you stuffing a sub in your mouth. Was that your mom when she was supposed to be working? All right. There she is. Where's your tool belt? I do like the safety glasses though.
Thank you.
You had the safety glasses. You were thinking safety first. Here, look at is it that Foreman Sarah?
Norman, Sarah.
Foreman Sarah up there on the roof guiding the guys. Were you watching a YouTube video to find out how to do it at that point right there?
I was taking pictures. There were certain areas of water damage, and I wanted to make sure that, it was all done correctly. I mean, I'm hiring out something that I wanted to make sure was done correctly and
Right,
putting a lot of trust into people.
right. Good for you. There's Foreman Sarah. Were you barking at that guy right there, making sure he was going to be done in time?
Yeah.
That dude was probably like, "Would you get away from me? We've got this crazy homeowner that won't get out of my ear. She's on the roof." This is really cool.
Well,
Oh, there it is. That's the picture I was shooting for. That's the one I was looking for. There she is. Absolutely zero safety glasses here with the air nailer. No safety glasses at all. But look at this. Look at the finishing touches. This place turned out absolutely amazing. Here, before we get into the finished pictures, before we get into all the finished pictures, let's talk a little bit more about how we got there.
yeah.
So obviously this house was in rough work, right? You did a rough shape. You did a lot of the work. How did you find the contractors So a lot of people listening to this are just starting off and they're just having these questions. How did you find the contractors that you did need, the people that you did use outside of your own set of hands?
Working with other real estate investors, going to meetups, talking to people about who they use, honestly, talking to you has saved me so much time and money. Being able to work with people you know, like, and trust. Um, you just should go straight to the resource, and that other investor.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I think I'm a big fan of that. Of your best resources are usually going to come from other people doing what you want to do or have already done. That's a great tip for everybody listening. Is a lot of your best contractors, a lot of your best vendors and relationships that are going to come from people that are already in the business prior to you. So that's a good nugget. How did you know when you got bids from these people? How did you know, like the roofer, for example, how did you know that the number was good? Like they were going to do a good job. You liked the number. It was a fair number, all that.
For my roof specifically, I got 3 bids from 3 different
Good
contractors.
for you.
Interviewed all of them. I really felt comfortable with the contracting team I went with. So yeah, that's how I did it.
Three, yeah. So you got minimum 3 bids.
Mhm.
Good, good. And you physically met every single one of them.
Every single one of them.
Good for you. Did you have any agreements or contracts in place? Like when you locked in the deal to move forward with your contractors, what protected you and what protected them?
Yeah, we had agreements and contracts in place. I also purchased all of my material, so that made me feel pretty comfortable as well. And we had a pay structure set in place. My roof was done in one day, so that was pretty comfortable.
Good. So you took the good for you. You did a pay structure for payment. Now, if it would have went longer, you could have did it in multiple payments, right? Um, when you ordered your material, did they give you the list of things that they needed? How did you know that?
Yeah, they gave me a list.
They gave you a list of what to get, and your job was to go to the which vendors did you like to use?
Dude, your traditional big boxes, Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's.
Yeah. You had everything just delivered out to the job site for the guys?
Yeah.
Okay, awesome, cool, cool. And how long did this project take from the purchase till close, or till purchase to ready to sell? How about that?
Three, 3.5 months.
3.5 months, so about just over 90 days. For
Yep.
your first flip, that is flying.
Thank you.
That is fast. For your first deal, that is very fast. And not alone your first deal, but your first deal doing it a lot of it on your own. That's fast because that's something I've never done and I would never want to do. So good for you for going through that. How did you keep things on time and under budget the whole time? I mean, obviously doing some things yourself, but it's still, I mean, when you've never done one, managing people, structuring or scheduling things, making sure things align properly, make sure things are done right. How did you do that?
Yeah, that's definitely a challenge for me. My alarm went off every day at 5 a.m.
Okay.
I was at my house by 5:30. I worked there until about 10:30. Showered with a hose, got ready, did real estate. At that point, I had a part-time bartending
Hold
job.
on, stop. Don't glaze over that. Hold on, stop right there. Back up. Hit it, hit it in reverse. Go back. What'd you just say?
Okay, so 5:30 to 10:30, I worked on the house.
Yeah.
For the most part, I didn't have plumbing in there, so I would shower with a hose.
From whose house? Oh, from you had a hose bit. So you're at
Yeah,
your rehab project with cats
yeah.
and you showered with a hose
Mhm.
in the house.
Yeah,
So you could go to the office and go to work.
yeah,
That is awesome. That is
yeah. So that was my day. I probably worked, and then after real estate, I bartended until about midnight
yeah.
and rinse and repeat 7 days a week.
So on average, you were trying to get in at least 4 to 5 hours a day on the rehab project. right?
Yeah.
That is cool because this kind of story is like you're a prime example of not everybody has to go through this way the way you did it, but people that go down the path that you did always win because you already went through it. You know what I mean? You've gone through the suck of trying to figure it out. So from once you do that, it can't get any worse than that. You know what I mean? That's good for you. Good for you. So let's talk a little bit about numbers.
Yeah.
Do you remember your cost of your material? Do you remember what you were all in at after not the purchase of the house, but just the material stuff when you're all
Yeah.
done?
Rehab side, I was probably in it for a little over 20,000.
That is really good. That is really good. For those listening, she saved probably 100%, probably 20,000 at least on labor by doing a lot of the things herself. That's crazy. To redo an entire house on $20,000 is a very, very, very good lean, we call it budget. Good for you. Okay, let's show some after pictures here. Let's show some after pictures. Now this is sweet. Now everybody, this is what you've been waiting for. Okay, there she is with her no goggles and her air nailer. Now check this out. This place, now remember, these were all lath and plaster walls. Cats living in the walls. Refinished, are those refinished hardwoods?
Yeah.
You refinished the hardwoods yourself as well?
Hmm.
So refinished hardwood floors. Awesome little light fixture. Did you get that from Amazon?
You donated it to me.
Really? Who,
Yeah.
who did who did? You broke up for a second. Who did?
Oh, one of my clients donated it to me.
Really? That is sweet.
Yeah.
That is sweet. Okay, cool. Look at this. Your kitchen turned out beautiful. Here's your arch. Here's your
Thank you.
arch. There's your arch with the plans. You did the tile on the backsplash too?
Yep.
So when you did, I mean, did you take it all the way down to like the handles on the cabinets? Did you do those?
Yep.
Really? You installed the appliances.
Yep.
Good for you. That is cool. That is cool. I can't tell what kind of floor is that. Is that floor still protected there? Is that or is that what is that?
You did a great tile.
Is it gray tile? Okay. You did all
Yeah,
that yourself too.
I did.
Good for you. That's cool. All right. What else we got here? Man, that turned out awesome.
Thank you.
That turned out awesome. Did you paint the exterior? What is it? Is that that's a porch, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the front porch.
Okay, front porch. Gosh, that turned out so good. There's a bathroom. Did you do the walls or were those already done?
No, I did them. I added shiplap to all the walls in the bathroom.
That looks great. That looked great. Was that more cost effective than redoing all the lath and plaster drywall?
It was.
Was it really? Okay.
Mhm.
Good to know. Good to know. Maybe I'll hire you, huh? Yeah. So were you able to bring this back to life or was this all new?
Yeah, so that was a shower tub surround. The surround was in pretty rough shape, so I ripped that out, added
Okay.
a cement board backer. I did the tile, but I saved the bathtub.
So all this is new that you did yourself.
Yeah,
That's really cool. Good for you. And here's one of my favorite parts about an entire house because we do our basements the same way. When you redo the whole basement and then spray everything black on the ceilings. You did this tile here too, didn't you?
I did.
The bar?
Yep,
Gosh, you just did such a good job. This is so cool. Good for you. Yeah, these
thank
after
you.
pictures are awesome. And this is what people love to see is the fact that when it's done, it looks great, it sells, you have a great product, and you can make some money on the back end when you're doing it. So let's talk a little bit about that. First off, congratulations. You did amazing. Not on just your first rehab, on any rehab. For someone to dive in and do what you did is cool. So now it's time to ask what everybody's been waiting for. What was your all-in price from purchasing it, all your holding costs, taxes, all that good stuff, and your material? What were you all in it for?
Try 50,000, and I want to say it was like 48,500, something like that.
Okay, so you're in 48 to 50 somewhere in there. That's good. And so you purchased it somewhere in the 20s, right?
I purchased it for 25.
Okay, good for you. Good deal. Great deal. Plus, you were able to help your friend get her rent forever home. That's awesome. Now, what did you sell it for?
I sold it for $87,500.
That is sweet. So, what we're looking for here, guys, is what's the net, right? So, what is your walk away profit that you made after all your expenses that you were able to put in you and your mom's business account?
It was about $39,000.
That is awesome. So, you turned a $39,000 profit in just over 90 days.
Yeah.
So that is half of what, as a construction worker, I used to make in a year, and you made that in 90 days, right? So congratulations. Number one, we did rehab projects for a long time before we ever even came close to sniffing $10,000 profit, let alone 40. So good for you. I'm sure you're going to inspire some people listening to this. So we made the money, you made the profit, you turned over a beautiful product. Tell me a little bit about the person that purchased it. What was her? I know how excited she was.
Yeah. Yeah, she traditionally wanted to rent the property. And when I talked to her about renting versus buying, she had no idea that she could afford this home. So she saved about $300 a month in her monthly payment. And she lives there now and she loved it. She's a good friend of mine. So I can't believe that I was able to help her into homeownership.
So the on the front end, you were able to help someone get out of this situation. Obviously, the home was in a rough shape. Get their forever home. Then you're able to rehab it and sell it to one of your friends at a much deeper discount than, uh, if she was renting, right? And I
Yeah.
know that area very well. If it would have went on the MLS, it probably would have sold for, more than that. So you were able to give her a good deal, some equity in a house, make a profit. It's just a win-win all the way around.
I mean, it really is. When I think about it, I cry. Like it makes me feel, I'm really proud of that.
Yeah, you should be. I mean, you helped not just helping the people, but you also achieved something that people dream of. I mean, how many people do you know, and I know personally, that watch these reality TV shows and think, well, I'm going to go flip a house, and we get questions like that every single day. You're a rehabber just like on TV, and I'm like, yeah, yeah, just like on TV, and you took it and turned it into a reality. So congratulations on that. I think it's awesome. I know there's going to be some people listening to this that are going to get inspired. And what would you say? Oh, hold on a second. So you sold it for 80, you profited 40. Are you going to do it again?
Yeah,
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 you're
I
gonna
can't wait.
you're gonna do it again. Good for you. So let's talk about the good, bad, and the ugly now, right?
Okay.
Okay. What went good? What went great? You're like, no hiccups. This is awesome. I would do this any day of the week. What went good?
Right? Like buying it. The demo was incredible. That went incredibly well. My vision came to life. That went extremely well. Um, the end buyer, all of those are really good. If we're talking about the bad and the ugly, though, doing all that work yourself is hard. It will challenge you in every kind of way, and you have to know that you're not going to give up. When you have every penny that you have to your name tied up into an investment property or whatever you want to invest in, you have to be serious with your. There were many of nights where I wanted to give up, where I think I've called you, but they were just lessons along the way. I know now what I would do differently. I think I would hire out some of the finishing work.
Hmm.
Um, knowing what I know now, going through it, and fulfilling and rewarding and pushing as that was,
Right.
um, I'm not an expert in those areas. There's, it's not my job. So that is what I would do differently. I would get some help.
Yeah.
Creating a team around me is also inspiring in a different way. That's the next.
Well, good for you. And I'll tell you that you're right. This business, construction alone, not even being a rehabber, construction alone pushes you both physically, mentally, emotionally, the whole thing because it's work. And especially people nowadays and the younger generation are a lot of are afraid to dive in and get their hands dirty, right? And things are just different now than what they were. So the fact that you went through all that, you've experienced, it doesn't get much worse than what you went through. The houses might get bigger, right? But what you experienced doing all that yourself, you've lived it now, right? So good for you. Somebody else listening to this is going to be like, wow, she can do it. So can I. What are so you said you'd hire a team. If you could, what would be the first place or the first thing you would take off of your plate if you were going to do it all over again?
Either I think it's just the finishing work, right? The trim work, or the tile work. Honestly, anything that a buyer can see, being a professional in this industry, like, you can notice when something's a DIY or when a professional does it. So if you're gonna put your name behind something, you want it to look good,
Right.
So that's probably what I would hire.
Take a couple of those things off. How did this affect? Did this take a lot of time out of your realtor business? Was that kind of hard
Yeah,
to juggle back and forth? Yeah,
oh, so hard.
right,
It was, I mean, it was the most challenging thing I've ever done.
right.
And that time away from my business, and amazing as it was to save on maybe a little bit of labor, um, being a realtor is my primary business, and it took away from me.
Yeah. Were a lot of your clients proud and excited for you when you were going through the, I know there were a lot of them were going through the ride with you while you were doing this.
Yeah. Yeah, they were. They were really understanding when I showed up with mud in my hair. Yeah, and maybe it didn't smell great. But they were proud and they encouraged me and they supported me along the way.
Awesome. Awesome. So if you're talking to another Sarah, right? Talking to someone else on this video right now, and they're watching this, thinking about possibly getting involved in real estate investing, flipping houses, all the above. What are just a couple tips that you would give the brand new person, or maybe somebody that's done a few deals and they're looking to take their business to the next level?
Networking immediately. Um, Start talking to other investors. Start sitting in rooms with people that have done what you want to do and have done it at a much higher level than what you do it at. Go to meetup, whatever you can do, and those people will help you. That's what I did.
Good, good. That's good. That's good advice. That's good advice. Talking to people is probably the most important thing anybody can do in any industry, really, because there's always someone that's one or two steps ahead of the journey than where you are. I think that's really good advice. And if anybody is, are you on social media? If anybody was to see this video and want to ask you a question about your experience, where's the best place that they can find you?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. You can search my name, Sarah Stigman. Send me a message. I'd love to chat.
All right, good stuff. Well, Sarah, thank you very much for taking the time to share this case study on this property. And I am looking forward to the next one. And we'll do comparisons on your next rehab. We'll do the same. We'll do the same thing, and we'll do a case study on that too, and see how things have changed.
When
All right, awesome. Thank you so much.